Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the How to Overcome Fear online event. I am very, very excited. We are just 2 minutes into the hour. I was just getting all connected on the other platforms. So if you are not able to go on here, I'm also live on YouTube. So yes, let me know where you're from. But I'm just going to quickly share my screen so that we can actually get started. So I'm just going to share my screen and we get all this rolling. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Just getting my screen up. I got so much running. Perfect. Yes, I think we are onto my screen now, which is what I wanted. Okay. Welcome to Phoebe. Welcome to Ronnie. Welcome, David. Yes, Moses. Yes, welcome, Jacob. Yes, France. Share my screen so that we can actually get started. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Yes, okay. So I think we are okay. So just getting this to play. I think I kind of lost my screen there. Just think we got Moses on. Yeah. Just Moses.
Hello?
Yeah, Moses, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm just trying to share my screen. Okay. For some reason, my PowerPoint just shut. Let's have a look. Moses, can you see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see the screen, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, I'm just opening my PowerPoint just went off, so I'm just opening it again. Meanwhile. Okay. Is it going meanwhile?
Sorry?
How is it going meanwhile? You okay, yeah?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. Just go. This is taking forever to open. What's going on? Come on.
trying to set up my microphone.
Okay, I can actually hear you, so which means it should be fine because I can hear you.
No, I think the one I'm using is the normal one. I'm just trying to.
Okay, it's a normal one, yeah. Okay. Normally, when you set up, it asks you, it should be able to ask you what do you want to use the computer micro? Are you on your phone? Computer microphone or external, something like that? You're on your laptop or phone?
Phone.
Okay, phone. Okay.
Yeah, phone is normally tricky. I think they don't have too many options, I think.
Yeah. Did it give you any options when you connected?
Not really.
Did it give you any? It didn't. Okay. Okay. What you can do, Moses, yeah? How about, I'm thinking you disconnect and try, see if it gives you any, but make sure before you connect, you got your external microphone plugged in. So because then if it picks it up, then it will ask you which microphone you want to use.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, try that, yeah.
And when I want to get that background,
yeah,
what do I do?
Okay, so so let me see.
Gus, as you set up.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah. Hello? Moses? Moses? Hello? Moses?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me now, yeah? Can you hear me? Moses?
Hello?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Mm-mm.
You can't hear me.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me now? Moses, can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Moses, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. What happened
Hear me?
before? Yeah.
I don't know what had happened before. Yeah. Okay, as long as you can hear me, that's perfect then. So,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
Okay, and that's...
So, Moses, if you quickly go. Yeah, that's perfect now. If you quickly go next to the video button, there should be an option of more options, or like an arrow. Can you
There's
see
an
it
arrow,
next to the
share
video
content.
button?
Share content.
No, how about if you go into next to, have you got at the end, have you got 3 arrows at the end? Because it's harder when you're on the phone.
I've got 3 dots saying more.
Click on them, see what options. Yeah, click on that, see what options it gives you.
Meeting settings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it gives me...
That's just meeting settings. Yeah.
Chat, meeting settings,
Yeah.
or raise hand.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be meeting
That's
settings.
it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, how about next to the, you know why it says stop video before you go to settings? Can you see next, have you got an arrow next to stop video? An arrow.
Just one
Is
moment.
there anything?
No. There's an arrow looking up.
Then yeah, try it, because on the laptop, on the arrow, when I click on the arrow, it gives me virtual background, choose virtual background.
Okay. So when I click on the
Yeah.
arrow, that's only,
Yeah.
that's share content. So it's saying only the host can share.
Okay. Try video settings. Yeah, because on the laptop, it's just next to,
Oh, so it's
that arrow next to. Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay. Can you see me though?
Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, I can see you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems then it's just something, someone has to use the laptop or something. I don't know.
No, I think you can do it. You can do it on the phone as well, but it's just going through that, or going through the options. What happens when you go to video settings?
When I go to video, I just got either to say, I've got an option to just stop, or I don't know, stop. When I click on the video, that's it.
Okay.
When I click on the and mute participants.
Yeah, yeah.
And then meeting settings, it just shows show connected time, show name when participant joins, touch up my appearance. Always show, I don't know.
Appearance. What's that option?
Sorry?
On appearance?
You just, it's like
what's
something.
The option on appearance?
You switch on and off, you know, the way you click green, or you just move something to be.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing active. So on.
Okay, oh God.
The other one is raise hand.
We'll have to check to see.
Have you done it before on the phone? Hello?
I have done it before, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I've done it before on the phone. Yeah, Moses, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I've done it before, yeah. Yeah, I've done it before on the phone. Yeah. I've done it before, so
I think the video is a bit delayed because I can see your video slowly. It's moving slowly.
okay. I think because of what? Because I'm outside, I'm not in the house. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm using my what I'm using my hotspot.
Oh, why did you prefer to go
Yeah,
outside?
that's what I'm using, but I'm just gonna now start. Because we've got someone doing the kids' hair, so they're making so much noise. There's so much going on in the house. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm going to now start, and yeah. Oh, I'm on YouTube as well.
Can you hear
Hello,
me?
Moses? Can you? Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I'm going to start now. Yeah. Hello, Moses. I'm going to start now. Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I'm going to start now. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Hello. Well, Moses. Yeah. Welcome to the All How to Overcome Fear online event, and I am very excited to be presenting this with everyone that's actually tuned in. So let's get all this going. There was a bit of technical problems, but that happens. That's what happens in real life. That's what happens when you come online. Guys, those on YouTube, just let me know where you're from, and we are going to get started right now. Okay. So what we're going to cover today is we are going to cover what fear is, the causes of fear, and ways to overcome fear. So that's what we're going to cover today. So just before I actually go into the topic, I'm just going to quickly, for those of you that don't know who I am, yes, so my name is Bezori Kamia, originally born in Uganda, that's in East Africa. I came here in the United Kingdom in 2002, and like most of us, I came here to study, and while studying, I was also working. I've done all sorts of jobs. So for me, what happened is like I was doing lots of jobs. I don't know, has anyone ever felt lost in life? If you've ever felt lost in life, yes, please type in the comments below. And for me, that's what I was. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with my life. And I'm sure most of us reach that point sometimes where you start asking yourself those questions. What would I like to do? And exactly that's what I was. And for me, when it comes to that, again, I was searching. I was like, what's my passion? Because I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do with my life. So that's for me what I started searching to find out exactly what I wanted to do with my life. So what I did is I ended up going to a 3-day personal development seminar, and that's actually that was mass event I went to. I'll never forget that event. Changed my life. So it was a 3-day personal development seminar. That's my friend Mopani. If you ever get to watch this, man, yes. So I love you so much. A great friend. He's also actually a motivational and inspirational speaker now. So I ended up going to that 3-day seminar. And for me, from after that 3-day seminar, I think that's why my mind kind of was opened up of when this guy came up to speak. I was like, why don't they teach us this in school? So I started reading books. I started going to seminars. I started going to networking events. And really, for me, I starting to work on myself because I wanted to really find out really what makes people tick, what do successful people do. And really, for me, it came to that point where when the guy started speaking, I was like, oh, I want to be like that guy on stage. Literally, I said, I want to be like that guy on stage. And I just didn't know how I was going to bring that to fruition. But I knew for me to do that, I obviously had to start that journey of public speaking, which I must say, I didn't start it straight away, but it's a journey that I started searching, I started working on myself to find out exactly what I wanted to do with my life. So 2 years passed, and in 2016, I joined Ipswich Speakers Club. Ipswich Speakers Club to obviously improve my public speaking skills. And when you think about public speaking skills, for me, I'd never spoken in public before. So you can imagine that first day when I walked in that place. I didn't know anyone, but I just trusted my instincts that that's the place I was supposed to be. So I went on there, and going on there, I knew that's the only way I was going to be able to pursue this dream of becoming a motivational and inspirational speaker. And after 2 years, there was something that was calling me. Like I wanted so much to start sharing my message with the world. I wanted so much to start putting out my public events, but I was very scared. But guess what, guys? Eventually, after 2 years of learning public speaking skills, after 2 years of feeling fearful, after 2 years of feeling like really something was pushing me to start sharing my story, I was able to actually start the seminar in 2018. And when I started those seminars, let me share some of the things that actually happened after sharing that seminar. So, from that seminar, one of the things that actually happened was so I got invited to speak. I got invited. So, in the seminar, there happened to be a gentleman from BBC, one of the seminars I'd done, that happened to be a seminar from a gentleman from BBC Radio Suffolk, who they said they would like me to go to they would like me to go and share my story, which I actually went on BBC Radio Suffolk. That's me there with my colleague Moses, who is actually on right now. So I went on, that was my first time on BBC Radio Suffolk. Not only that, in that seminar, I shared 3 lessons I learned from my dad that will change your life. And I was able to actually write a book, 3 lessons I learned from my dad that will change your life. So not only that, I was invited to speak at Association of Speakers Club magazine. I was featured in the Association of Speakers Club magazine when one of the presidents was fascinated with how I started my journey. Uh, Also, secured on Inspire Ipswich. I've got a weekly radio show with my colleague Leandra, which happens every single Tuesday, and so many speaking opportunities have come from there. So what's my point? So everything I did, I must say I was fearful, but guess what? I knew for me to do something, yes, I had to step into my fear. I knew for me to do something, I had to do something outside my comfort zone. And so for me now, my dream is to inspire and motivate people to go after their goals and dreams by facing their fears. So I've also teamed up with the Inspirational Collective, a group of another 3 amazing speakers that we here to speak, inspire, and transform people all over the world. And with those speakers, we've got John Dubois, we've got David Daniels, we've got Leandra Van Setma. So now, without further ado, I'm just going to quickly jump into the reason we are all here, the reason we came on, and that is on how to overcome fear. So first of all, what's fear? for those of you that can see my screen, yes, so fear is just an unpleasant emotion caused by either threat, danger, caused by threat of danger, pain, or harm. So when it comes to fear, for me, fear is actually a visceral reaction. You can actually feel the fear when you're going to do something, especially if it's something you've never done before. Literally, you, even before the event has occurred, that fear can actually take over. And that's where most of us stop. Most of us stop at that point where we can't even do anything. So, and then let's jump into, so what are the causes of fear? So, the first one is instinct. See, we've all had the saying, see, when we were born, we didn't have fear whatsoever. But, growing up, things, start happening. So one of the things fear is natural. When you're going to do something you've never done before, that it naturally fear comes up. No, so the other one is just a taught. So fear is also taught. What do I mean? See, sometimes, I don't know, when you were kids, sometimes even I find myself doing this to my kids. I said to them, oh, don't do this because, stop playing up and you might fall. So sometimes we taught fear, and this gets embedded into our subconscious mind, and we just take it on. So the other one is it's also learned from others. Have you ever seen someone do something and because they failed, guess what? You thought as well you were going to fail if you started doing whatever you're doing. So fear is not only instinctive, fear is taught, and fear is also learned from other people. So these are some of the ways that this is how fear comes up. So let's jump into just some of the ways to overcome fear. So the first thing I would like to share with you is awareness. So when it comes to fear, the first thing I want you is to become aware of the fear. So like if you're to change anything, we all know everything starts with awareness. So are you aware of the fear that you're facing? That's the first thing, because if you're not aware of something, you can't change it. Let's face it. What happens, let's say, if you, and this is an analogy I like to use, we all know if you want to improve your fitness, it starts with knowing, okay, maybe I put on a bit of weight, maybe it's then, so everything starts from awareness. If you're not aware of something, then there's nothing you can actually do about it. So when you become aware of the fear, so that's what awareness comes in. Then you identify, what type of fear am I facing? Is this fear life-threatening? Is this fear maybe something I'm making up in my mind? So you become aware of the fear, then you identify the fear. So what type of fear is it? Like, let's say if you're going to speak on stage, like this is an example I like to use because I faced this so many times. So I get that visceral reaction, my heart rate starts bumping, beating 1,000 miles per second. And I'm like, oh my God, like I remember the first time I went on stage, I literally was freaking out. I was sweating. I was going to forget everything I was going to say. Thank God that didn't happen. So what happens is, when that fear comes, it's you're doing something that you have never. If you're not aware of that fear, and if you don't identify that fear, guess what? That's where that fear kicks in, and boom, before you know, you quit on your goals and dreams. Before you know, you quit on whatever you're going after. So the first thing, become aware of that fear. Next thing, identify that fear and ask yourself, is this fear going to kill me? If I really step and do what I'm going to do, is this going to kill me? If it's not going to kill me, then guess what? You might as well step into that fear, because at the end of the day, as long as you realize, ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen? If it's not going to kill you, then go into that fear. So the next one is examine the fear that you're facing. And what am I talking about by examining that fear? So what I mean is really ask yourself, is this fear going to stop me from going after my goals and dreams? I had someone say, when you reevaluate a situation, you realize that most of the time it's actually not going to do anything. So when you reevaluate something, sometimes you come up with a perception. In fact, someone said, we don't see the things the way they are. We see things the way we are. So when most of the time when you examine that fear, what you're going to realize is it's coming up, but it's not going to kill you. When you examine something, you look at it from a different perspective. And for me, what I would like to share is always remember, have that analogy where you've got a problem. So you sit down and picture that problem on the other side of the table, and ask yourself, how could the person I would like to become approach this fear? If this fear was not life-threatening, would I still go after this fear, or would I just give up? So examine the fear. So after examining the fear, then classify that fear. So you classify that fear saying, where does this fear actually fall? Is it really life-threatening? Is it the type of fear that maybe if I stepped into it, I'm probably going to be able to step outside? I'm going to be able to step into this fear and go through it. So those are the ways. So one is become aware of the fear, identify the fear, examine that fear. And most of the time when you re-examine that fear, what you're going to notice is most of the time you're going to realize it's nothing. And for me, on that night when I first set up that first personal development seminar, the night before, literally, I could hardly sleep. I said, all sorts of voices came up saying, come, tomorrow no one is going to show up on your seminar. Come, you're going to stand up to speak, and guess what? Your mind is going to go blank. And literally, I could hardly sleep the night before. So one of the things is I had to really examine that fear, and, by saying, really, is this going to happen? Yes, it might happen. Then if it happens, so what? If it happens, I'm still alive. I'm not going to die. Yeah. If no one shows up, that's fine. At least I've shown up on that seminar. So that's what that part actually comes in. Okay, so the next part is you gotta reframe the fear. And what am I talking about? See, when you reframe something, most of the time, that's when you're able to change whatever you're looking at. And the way I like to look at fear is through these stages. So first you recognize, so what's causing that fear? So the fear comes first from a circumstance. What am I saying? Circumstance or circumstances. What am I talking about? Say, when you think of your thoughts come from the circumstances. So when you're going to do something you've never done before, that's the circumstance is whatever you're going to achieve. So your thoughts pop up and they say to you, oh, you're crazy. This has never been done before. Don't even bother. And then when it comes to your thoughts, so the way you think about that fear, the way you think about something you're doing, so that's where then feelings come in. So you think about something, and then the feelings actually you start having that visceral reaction when it comes to fear. You start feeling fearful, or you start getting excited. And for me, one of the things I like to use is, if I'm going to do something, I'm so excited. Instead of saying, oh, I'm so fearful, I'm fearful of being judged, I say, I'm so excited. Probably you guys heard me when I came on to this event. Straight away, I said, oh, I'm so excited to be on this online event, because I knew if I keep saying, oh, I don't know what to expect, I'm fearful, guess what? Straight away, your subconscious mind, your body picks it up. And once your body picks it up, it's actually shown physically, it's shown to anyone. See, when you've seen people on stage, yeah, right? Even when we were kids and we started doing presentation, maybe at university, you were called to do a presentation. Do you know if you're fearful, people that were there could actually sense it, could actually sense it. People could actually sense what you were going through. So what I would like you to do is remember to reframe the circumstances. Say, yes, I'm going to do this presentation. Yes, I would like to do something I've never done before, but I'm going to reframe it with my thoughts. So it's all about the perception, which is one of the words I love. So you reframe your thoughts. I'm fearful. I can't do this. It's never been done before. And then you say to yourself, but no others have done it before. If I do it, how am I going to feel at the end? So really go so much into the feelings. For those of you that are on Facebook or YouTube Live, let me know where you're coming from. And also, please let me know your comments below. We've got some people on. So the other one is, so after those feelings, so from those feelings, I believe that's where the action comes from. So from those feelings you feel, whether you're fearful or you feel confident about something, it's proportionate to the actions you will take. And let me share what I mean. Okay, just want to see some people who've come on so I can give some shout out. So go. Yes, Stefan is on. Yes, hi, Stephanie. Yeah, hi. Is that Moses? Yes, Mo. Yes, Mo. I can see. Hope you're doing great. Yeah. So then next is the action. So for me, the night before the seminar, guess what? One of the quotes that came up was like from Zig Ziglar is, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. And it's like, boom, for me, it was like a light bulb moment. When that voice came up, straight away, something in me changed. I knew if I didn't do that seminar, then not only was I letting myself down, but I was letting down the people who had signed up for that seminar. And I always say this, if I not studied that seminar, we would not be having this conversation. I probably wouldn't be on this even right now. So once you go into those feelings, then those feelings will lead to the actions. And then what happens? Yes, we all know it's those actions that will produce those results that you bring to fruition. So again, that's why you have to really, really reframe that fear. So it starts from those circumstances. Those circumstances will lead to the thoughts you think. The thoughts will lead to the feelings. And the way you feel is actually what will propel you, whether you take action or you step back. And from that action, we all know it's those results you get. So if you see, so for me, I believe the amount of action you take is in direct proportion to the fear you feel. So if you've got no fear at all, what happens? Action, right? We all know hesitant. We've seen this like in football. When a team is scared of the other team, guess what? They don't attack. They are playing defense. They are on an offensive, and you don't want to approach a game like that if you're to win. So that's why you have to come at it with massive action if you want to go through that fear. Because if you don't, then you're going to stay stagnant. If you don't, you're going to stay in the same place. So you gotta go through that fear like crazy with that massive action. So one of the things I really, really wanted to share with you guys today is how do you really use this fear? So I've got here, for those of you that can see my slide. Yes, so use fear as fuel. Use fear as fuel. What do I mean? See, we've all had that saying, everything, fear lies, fear, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So one of the things I say is whenever I'm fearful of something, it means I have to act on it. That's what I mean by use fear as fuel. And how do you do that? So one of the things is to visualize the outcome. See, when you're going to do something you've never done before, obviously you're going to get fearful. So what I like to do is to visualize yourself, visualize the outcome. So imagine yourself on the other end. So if you were to do whatever you want to do, if you were to go through that fear, how would you feel on the other side, right? So you close your eyes and picture how you would come up on the other side of fear. Let's say you wanted to start a business, but you were very fearful. So one of the things you can do is visualize yourself how your business would look if you were successful. Visualize yourself how your business would look if you were to obviously start the business, even just on the first day, even just opening up the business. So you say to yourself, how would I feel if I'd started my business? How would I feel if I'd started that charity? So you visualize yourself having accomplished that goal. And then the other one, which I really, really like, when it only think of ways that you can bring your goal to fruition. And I'm going to say that again for those of you that are on Facebook that can't, that can't see my screen. Only think of ways you can bring your goal to fruition. So what do I mean? See, the number one reason, the number one function of the brain is to actually do what? Keep us alive. So what I would like to share with you is, when you're going to do something you've never done before, the brain is going to come up with all sorts of excuses why you shouldn't be doing that thing that you're doing. So what I like to say is, only think of ways that you can bring your goal to fruition. See, we all know what you give energy to is what expands. So what I mean is, so when you say I'm only going to look for ways, my battery is running low. When you only think of ways you're going to do something, then what you need to remember is the mind will start thinking of ways to help you bring that goal to fruition. The mind will start coming up with ways to help you come up with ways, come up with ideas that you even never thought possible. So for me, it's just a mindset shift. You say to yourself, I am only going to think of ways on how I can bring this to fruition. And the way you ask yourself this question is, how can I solve X, Y, and Z? So that's how you approach it from that point of view. And then the last one, guys, is to take massive action. See, when you're fearful about something, the worst thing you can do is to retreat. So that's why I like to say, take massive action, take determined action. When you take determined action, then the chances are you'll be able to step into your fear without hesitation. Okay, so that's what I wanted to go through in this online event. So what's next? So for those of you that are free here, would like a free 30-minute coaching session, one-on-one coaching session that we can go through something that you would like to obviously go through. Maybe you would like to start a business, maybe you're fearful about something. So we offer a free 30-minute coaching session. If you're interested, please let me know in the comments below. And after that call, if it's a good fit, then we can go on a longer journey. And what do I mean? So what I've got is a 5-week course. And in that course, so in week one is finding your passion. So what do you really, really want? See, one of the things that we know is most of us have goals and dreams. Some of us haven't even found our passion. So for me, I believe that's why it starts. So you can't travel from point A to point B without knowing. You gotta know where you're going. So in week one, we uncover what your heartfelt desires are. We go through questions that will actually help you find your passion. And then in week two is where we cover limiting beliefs. See, we all know that for you to bring anything to fruition, you gotta go over those limiting beliefs. Because if you don't, then guess what? Nothing is ever going to happen unless you overcome those limiting beliefs. And then the other one is we also go through the childhood experiences, because some of us carry so much childhood experiences that actually stop us from going after the things that we would love to do. And then the next one in week 3 is when we cover fear. Obviously, I didn't go into the details in this session, but in week 3, we go through how to overcome fear so that you can step into your goals and dreams. Not only that, we also cover what fear is costing you, because let's face it, if you're not doing anything, if fear is stopping you from going after anything, fear is costing you so much. And for me, I speak from experience. Because of fear, I held on pursuing my goal of becoming a motivational, inspirational speaker for 2 years. From 2014, when I attended that seminar, I put it off for 2 years, guys. 2 years I wanted to start getting the skills, but I was fearful. I was thinking, what will people think? People will think I'm crazy. This is never done before. I haven't got a PhD in communication, and all sorts of excuses I was coming up with were coming up because of fear. So in week 3, we dive deep to find out what that is. And then week 4 is the big one as well. For you to go after your goals and dreams, it's going to require you to have confidence. Yes, you gotta be confident for you to be able to go after those big audacious goals and dreams that you've got. You gotta have confidence for you to go through that terror barrier. So that's why in week 4 we cover practical ways to become more confident, to live the life you have always imagined. And then for me, week 5, this is the game changer. See, you can have all the tactics, you can have all the skills, you can visualize and do everything, but week 5, unless you come up with a game plan on how to execute on those goals, on those plans, then you're going to stay stagnant. So that's why in week 5, we go into a brainstorming session, we come up with a game plan that will help you start taking action. And that's where we actually find out exactly what it is you really want, and then we come up with a game plan that you can execute on a daily basis. And with this one, what I mean is really we write down exactly what you're going to be doing on a daily basis, because we all know the only way to develop momentum is through taking those daily baby steps. And it doesn't have to be big. It could be doing something as little as 10 minutes. And for me, what I tell people is for you to be able to pursue your dream, it's just doing something tiny every single day. As long as it's something that's leading you in the direction of your goals and dreams. So that's what we cover. And so what are the others saying that have been through or have experienced some of in this program? So the testimonials. So the first one comes from Leandra. You can see some of you on the screen, which you can see. It says, Cam is an amazing motivational speaker. And the first time I saw one of his speeches, I was blown away by, what have I done? So I was blown away by his energy. I was inspired to follow my dreams and to stop being scared to move forward. He has such passion and shines through in every presentation. Coaching with Cam is amazing, as he always holds true to your highest you. He genuinely wants to help the community and in video improve and move to the next best version of themselves. Cam has been a massive inspiration to me, and is always there if I need extra support or just need someone to give me some extra strategies to make it through everyday living. I would definitely recommend Cam if you want to be inspired to move to the next version of yourself, however that may look. I guarantee you Cam will get you there. And then the other testimonial is from Laura Reed, and it says, I approached Cam to work on my confidence as I knew it was a subject he had covered in his seminars. However, I felt like working one-on-one with Cam however, I felt like working with Cam in a way benefit me. Incredibly approachable and friendly. He approached the issue slowly, with the root cause of my confidence. My confidence is my confidence it might be, and then we work together to find practical solutions to build my confidence. I just can't read this. He's right there with you every step of the way. If he said, remember that, Laura. We regularly stayed in contact by message between our sessions, and if I had any worries or concerns, I knew Calm was there for me. I would 100% recommend working with Life Coach Calm. He is friendly, experienced, and is passionate about his approach to coaching. I'm already seeing great results from working with Calm. I'm taking more time to focus on myself, and I now have the confidence to start pursuing my dream career by getting the qualifications I need. Of course, Calm is there for me every step of the way. Thank you guys for those amazing testimonials. Guys, that brings us to the end of our How to Overcome Fear online event. And what's going to happen now is I'm going to be taking some Q